Hello, Shrunkle Spurt here, and today I'll be mostly reviewing this absolute whopper, the MSI Claw 8 AI Plus. Yet another handheld gaming PC in an increasingly crowded market and right on the eve of Nintendo spaffing out its fresh new Switch 2. But this chunky wee chap sports some pretty solid hardware, including a bit of Intel Lunar Lake action and some happily upgraded software too. I've been a big fan of handheld gaming ever since the original Game Boy. Means I can keep on playing even when I'm on the carsy, and believe me, I'm hitting the age where I'm spending a lot more time there. So here's my review of the MSI Claw 8 AI Plus, and for more on the latest and greatest tech, please do poke subscribe and ding that notifications bell. Cheers! Right, so first question is, what do you actually get inside of the box besides the MSI Claw 8? Gonna stop saying AI Plus every time because that's just bloody annoying. Well, first of all, gotta love the hyperactive box art. This reminds me of those absolutely banging 90s graphics cards. So you got yourself a quick guide and also a startup guide, which is literally just like, don't forget to update the bloody thing. And you've also got yourself a 65-watt power adapter. And if you can actually be bothered to assemble it, the inside bit of the box actually doubles up as a kind of stand. Time to put the old Blue Peter skills to the test. And then you just kind of fold it up a bit. Et voila, there is our finished product. Just bung your Claw 8 in there to proudly display it. Yeah, I always thought Blue Peter was a bit shit anyway. Anyway, that's what you get stuffed in the box. Now let's check out the MSI Claw 8. The tagline for which is rather amusingly grip and game. Well, I certainly don't need an MSI Claw for that. And like most gaming PCs, it's a proper full-on chunkster. For comparison purposes, here it is alongside the original Steam Deck. It's just as wide, a wee bit taller, and the body itself is actually a bit chunkier than the Steam Decks, but because of the handheld grippy bits, they look the same. That 8-inch display mostly dominates the central section, the bezels aren't too thick at all. And the Claw 8 has a bit of a heft to it, but I didn't find it uncomfortable to game on for, a good hour or two. And if nothing else, you can double up, do a bit of gaming and lifting simultaneously. The grip is proper comfortable and all the controls feel well positioned, my thumbs weren't cramping up or anything. And I do like MSI's smart two-tone finish for this thing as well, just stands out from the usual black and boring monotone efforts. The branding's not too in your face, you've got a little bit of MSI action just there underneath the display, and then if you flip it around, of course, you've got the big old MSI dragon crest, and also a dinky claw up top just for good measure. And up top is where you'll find all of the ports on the Claw 8 as well, there's none down below. So you got yourself a pair of Thunderbolt 4 ports alongside a micro SD memory card slot. You've also got yourself a headphone jack up top next to the volume buttons, and over on the far left side a power button with a built-in fingerprint sensor. And this certainly comes in handy for bypassing pins and passwords. Just tap your pinky to the surface. And I've had no jip from this at all, just one tap straight in, no worries. As long as your hands aren't like super wet or caked in filth or anything. Now when you boot up the MSI Claw 8 AI Plus, you're straight into, of course, your Windows desktop type setting. But you can quickly jump into the MSI Center M with the tap of this wee hotkey here. Otherwise you can have it pop up automatically when you do boot up the device. You can either navigate this using the built-in controls, otherwise the touchscreen. And I've got to say, I'm certainly a fan because it's just beautifully streamlined. You can jump straight in with your most recent titles, otherwise just flick up and you're straight into your various gaming platforms, bit of Xbox Game Pass, Epic Games, Battle.net, etc. You'll also spy there's the MSI app player over here on the far right. This basically allows you to download Android games onto the MSI Claw 8. Got all your classic and most popular stuff on there. So you can, for instance, get a bit of Wuthering Waves, Genshin Impact, all that shenanigans on the go. And if you're new to the Claw 8 or just gaming handhelds in general, there's loads of great built-in guides and tutorials. And in here you can also choose between 3 different user scenarios. So you've got the AI engine, which can automatically set the performance mode and also the lighting settings based on what you're actually up to. There is also an endurance mode, which, as you can see there, limits the performance to extend the battery life. Otherwise you can manually tweak it with the TDP adjuster and also choosing the fan speed. For pretty much all of my testing, I left the AI engine in control because, after all, this is the AI Plus. Now, the MSI Claw 8 is powered by a bit of Intel Lunar Lake action. It's the Core Ultra 258V, which is built for efficiency rather than raw thrust in power, so it makes sense to shove it inside of a handheld. You got 32 gigs of integrated RAM in there, you got the Arc 140V GPU, and for all that AI shenanigans, bit of NPU action peaking at 47 tops. And even though it's not about raw power, the TDP maxes out at 37 watts, so still pretty respectable. And in the manual settings, you can select between 3 different options, 8 watts, 17 watts, or 30 watts. Now, as I say, for most of my gaming, I had that AI engine switched on because that's supposed to be one of the main selling points of the Claw 8. And the benchmarking results were certainly encouraging. Not a big fan of benchmarking, but I did run a bit of 3D Mark. And Steel Nomad scored at 768, while Time Spy hoid out a result of 3,745, beating off the ROG Ally X and most recent rivals. I spent a lot of time with some Game Pass games these past few days, starting with Eternal Strands. Now, this was set by default to 1200p, with most of the graphic settings either set to high or epic levels, which I thought may have been a wee bit adventurous, but fair enough, the MSI Claw 8 AI Plus coped with it pretty well. I did see a couple of quite noticeable frame drops in my good few hours that I spent with the title, but overall the frame rate was pretty fluid. And even when this handheld was running on battery power, I felt that the frame rate tended to hover around the 40 frames per second level. When I dropped the quality presets to high, I found that boosted the frame rate to more the 50-60 frames per second level. Everything from that point was buttery smooth. I'm also now hopelessly addicted to Sniper Elite, even though I am actually hopeless at the game. And this defaulted to the low graphic settings at 720p resolution, bit more pessimistic compared with Eternal Strands. And the MSI Claw 8 handled this without so much as a sniff of sweat. That frame rate was regularly in the hundreds, only dropping as far as 80 frames per second when things went proper tits up, and I basically had half the German army trying to reduce me to a fine paste. After a while, I bumped up to the higher graphics settings at 1200p resolution to actually make the most of that gorgeous display and the hardware stuffed inside of this thing. And then I found that the frame rate mostly stuck in the 40s, depending on how many pissed off Nazis I had swarming all over my arse. Occasionally the frame rate rose into the 50s, and a couple of times dipped into the 30s on those larger levels. But even then, I didn't notice any proper judders like I had on Eternal Strands. That frame rate stayed perfectly smooth, certainly to my dilapidated old peepers. And that performance remained consistent regardless of whether the MSI Claw 8 was plugged in or just running on battery power. Now, MSI has stuffed its Hyperflow cooling system into this handheld gamer. That involves 2 built-in fans as well as a dual heat pipe setup. This means you can keep on gaming for hours without witnessing any kind of bottlenecking or indeed singeing your palms. This cooling setup, as well as being highly effective, is also surprisingly quiet. Even when those fans are running full pelt, it doesn't really get any louder than this. You'll barely hear anything more than just a background white noise. It's certainly a lot quieter than a lot of rivals. I found that even if you just turn up the speakers just a wee bit, that'll happily drown out any sound from the fans. And in fact, they're so subtle that you can happily game in quite a quiet environment while your family's trying to watch the telly, or even if your wife's trying to get some kip next to you in bed or whatever. And it won't be the fans that disturb them. If anything, it'll just be the clicky buttons. And all that hot air is blasted out of vents here on the back end and up on the top edge as well. And even though it looks like your fingers might stray quite close to those vents, I never found that my fingertips got anywhere near warm or toasty. So certainly if you are gaming for a couple of hours, you don't need to worry about the comfort levels being affected. And when you're in the middle of the game, you can access the MSI Quick Settings with a quick tap of that button there. As you can see, you can quickly and easily tweak the screen brightness, adjust the volume, change between the different user modes, the endurance mode, manual mode, and AI engine mode. You can also switch between gamepad mode and desktop mode, which is just more of a touchscreen control type scenario. Bring up the virtual keyboard, free up memory, toggle the Bluetooth settings. You've also got a real-time monitor, which I've been using for a lot of my frame rate shenanigans. And of course your regulars like grabbing a screenshot or recording the action. You can also bring up your Xbox social menu with a quick tap up there. Quite handy for your multiplayer gaming. You've also got full audio controls. You can check out all your captures in this menu. See how the MSI Claw 8's resources are handling the action. Got your Xbox achievements, all kinds of stuff. Now, the MSI Quick Settings and the Control Center can be a wee bit bulky, although no worse than the UI on most other gaming handhelds, to be fair. Occasionally it'll glitch or just refuse to load up, for instance, or just take its sweet time loading up to the point where you're like, oh, it's definitely not loading, you'll press the button again and then cause it to shut down. But overall, works really, really well, and I'd much rather it was there than I just had to deal with the general Windows interface. Now, a big old chunk of the front end of the MSI Claw 8 is filled with that 8-inch IPS touchscreen. It's a 1200p panel, so pretty crisp, especially compared with most rivals which tend to top off at Full HD. And while it is just IPS tech, not OLED, the contrast is pretty respectable, and colours certainly couldn't be described as dull. Some more vibrant, vivid scenes certainly pop off that panel. And personally, I prefer OLED panels, but obviously different people react to them in different ways. Some people get a bit migraine-y from it, especially when using OLED screens in low light. At least you don't have that issue with IPS panels. And the refresh rate peaks at 120 Hz. You've also got full support for VRR. As for the brightness, well, that maxes out at roughly 500 nits. So despite that shiny surface, you can generally get gaming on this thing outdoors as long as it's not a sunshiny day, which, let me tell you, not had many of those recently in Blighty. But of course, if you are playing murkier fare and you've got glare directly beaming down onto that display, you will struggle to see what the ruddy heck is actually going on. As for MSI's built-in speakers, well, max out that volume and they are loud enough to fill a small room. So they'll absolutely knock your teeth out. I found you get a decent stereo effect coming through when you're gaming using just the speakers, although as always for true immersion you can't beat a pair of headphones. You got that headphone jack slapped up top and full Bluetooth LE support here too, with minimal lag, although if you're going to be gaming online, to give you the absolute best possible chance, you're probably going to want to get plugged in. But if you do stick with the speakers, they're certainly pretty bassy. Got a good bit of grunt to them, certainly when the shrapnel starts flying in the likes of Sniper Elite, you can really feel it. And MSI has also slapped on a pair of proper Hall effect sensor joysticks, proper durable with bugger all drifting, and of course you've got the obligatory RGB ring shenanigans, and a good bit of lighting behind those face buttons as well. Bugger all trackpads, however, on the MSI Claw 8, which I certainly would have appreciated for a bit of Sniper Elite, but hey-ho. The shoulder buttons have top actuated switches. They certainly feel nice and responsive, just like the rest of the buttons. Got a good firm action, and also a pair of macro buttons around back, which you can program to do whatever you like. None of the controls feel sticky in any way, and as I say, I found them perfectly comfortable to use even for hours at a stretch. But what about the battery life? Well, the MSI Claw 8 AI Plus has an 80 watt-hour battery stuffed inside of that chunky chassis. And this, coupled with the fact that, of course, you've got the energy efficient processor running the show, means that the battery life is pretty bloody good on this thing. So even playing fresh new AAA titles like Sniper Elite at 1200p resolution with the high graphics settings, I found that typically the battery life would drain by just under 50% per hour. So I'd get just over 2 hours of full-on gaming from a full charge of this thing before it finally said, nah, you're done, mate. And that certainly beats a lot of other gaming handhelds that I've tested in recent times, and it's about the same as what you can expect from the Asus ROG Ally X and the Steam Deck OLED. And that is, of course, with that AI performance mode enabled. But if you're playing less demanding fare, you can stick it on the more energy efficient performance mode and get a few extra hours of action from a full charge. Oh, and last up, the SSD inside of this thing is apparently easily replaceable. All you got to do is prise off this back plate. You should be able to just yank out the old SSD, slap a new one in there if you need to. Otherwise, of course, you've got that micro SD memory expandability. And that right there, my lovelies, in a tasty wee nutshell, is the fresh new MSI Claw 8 AI Plus. And I've got to say, I've really enjoyed my time with this thing. The performance is fantastic, the cooling isn't intrusive in any way, and the battery life is really good for a gaming handheld, even when playing AAA titles on fairly high graphics settings. Unfortunately, right now as I shoot this video, the MSI Claw 8 will set you back almost £1,000. It's like 900 quid from Curry's, which is pretty bloody expensive, puts it right up there with the most expensive gaming handhelds. And that's a particularly tough sell when you consider you can buy yourself a fresh new Steam Deck OLED for less than £700. But you know, you might catch it at a discount in some sort of sale or something, in which case I would say absolutely jump on board, because yeah, great performance, excellent battery life, solid all around bit of tech. That's what I reckon anyway. It'd be great to hear your thoughts down in the comments below, especially if you've actually got yourself an MSI Claw 8 AI Plus. Please do subscribe and ding that notifications bell for more on the latest and greatest tech, and have yourselves a ruddy, wonderful rest of the week. Cheers everyone, love you!